Welcome to GloVisa's pioneering series of Meeting the Pros. I'm your host, Finn. Our objective, as always, for this series is to connect you with professionals and industry leaders in the field of immigration around the world in order to bring you updated information within the specific industry. Today, we're honored to have Mr. Scott Well, founder of Executive Chairman of Real Asset Management Group, here with us today to discuss his insights into Hong Kong's investment landscape. Now, Scott has over 27 years of global investment management experiences, having worked at top-tier international banks across Australia, Europe, and Hong Kong. And Real Asset Management Group, RAM for short, is a pan-Asian asset management firm with offices in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. And it's one of the key financial institutions currently participating in Hong Kong's new capital investment entrance scheme. So, Scott, thank you very much for coming to join us this section today.
Pleasure.
Thank you. So, I guess to start off, could you share with us a bit information about both of yourself and RAM in particular of RAM's investment philosophy?
No problem. Thank you. And thank you for having me today. I think you've already given a great introduction to the firm, so maybe I'll touch on a bit of what we stand for as a company. So as you mentioned, I founded Real Asset Management some years ago, almost 15 years ago now. We're an asset management firm based on three different asset classes. One is credit, real estate, and private equity. Our philosophy, investment philosophy, is about bringing institutional client solutions together with high net worth clients. So we offer funds based on those asset classes from investors globally. So we have institutional investors and also high net worth investors investing into those funds. We specialize in providing stable and secure returns to customers and for growing customers' wealth over time. A lot of the background of key principles in the firm is in wealth management as well as asset management. So we're quite familiar with understanding what the needs are of wealthy families globally, how we can help them look after that wealth and grow it and plan for the next generation for their legacy planning. That's what we stand for as a company.
Understood. That sounds pretty fantastic. In recent years, the Hong Kong government has actively promoted the asset and wealth management industry. So what is RAM's view of the market opportunities in Hong Kong currently, as well as those opportunities in Greater China region?
Understood. Look, I think there's a lot of opportunity at the moment. Clearly, there's a lot of positive policies to drive Hong Kong as a global asset management center. As you might know, Hong Kong is one of the largest asset management centers globally, and the government policies indeed are targeting that it would be the largest cross-border location, even higher than Switzerland in the years to come. So I think a lot of the policies are focused on enhancing Hong Kong's position as a global asset management hub, and we see a number of policies coming out in support of that. Our firm was one of the few international firms to be granted a license by the SFC to offer authorized funds in Hong Kong, and that's a specific government policy to promote funds domiciled in Hong Kong, open-ended fund companies. Hong Kong's also done a lot with family offices, with promoting families to be based in Hong Kong and to have their global base of operations there for their family. Hong Kong has also, of course, supported the reintroduction of the CIS, the Capital Investment Entrance Scheme, which, based on the government's own yardstick, has been a great success for Hong Kong and has brought a large number of investors to Hong Kong. So I think things like the Capital Investment Entrance Scheme, which promotes investors to move to Hong Kong, together with the family office to actually set up and draw the overall family governance to Hong Kong, have been positive, I think, in promoting Hong Kong as a wealth and asset management hub. Indeed, I think Hong Kong's positioning itself as like the Monaco of China, where wealthy people can live and also plan their wealth. So I think the policies have been quite productive in that regard.
Understood. So with all those opportunities readily available in Hong Kong, so what do you say is the advantage of RAM in Hong Kong, as well as how is RAM positioning itself in this market?
Yeah, good question. We've positioned ourselves to, invest and expand in Hong Kong. So, as I mentioned, we've expanded our regulatory footprint in Hong Kong and our asset management footprint by the launch of two public SFC authorised funds in Hong Kong. So, first one of those is our government bond fund, which is quite a unique position in Hong Kong, where it's a fund that just invests in Hong Kong government bonds, so it's an easy entry point for clients looking for conservative solutions. And we've also launched a global bond fund called the RAM Income Fund. So both those funds are SFC authorised funds, and both of those funds are acceptable investments for the CIS. So for CIS, there's a $27 million investment, Hong Kong dollar, and both those funds qualify for that investment. Similarly, as one of the few, international firms to be well positioned in Hong Kong, we're also looking at other mechanisms such as Wealth Management Connect, which is a way for Greater Bay Area investors to invest into Hong Kong. There's a specific government policy. So as a foreign firm, we're quite interested in how we can interact with these government policies and how we can provide clients an investment option from a foreign firm who has a global perspective to be able to invest globally through Hong Kong.
Understood. So I guess we can also go off on that. We can have like a more bird's eye view considering RAM's advantages in Hong Kong, as well as like how do you think is RAM leveraging its pan-Asian presence to help, I guess, global investors to have investment solutions?
Yeah, great question. So we've been in Hong Kong a long time, more than a decade. We have deep roots in Hong Kong, a very long-standing team in Hong Kong. And as a group, we have the resources of the overall group to support the Hong Kong office as well. So we have over 200 staff in the business. We have over 40 billion Hong Kong dollars of assets under management. So we have the global group resources there and connectivity, plus a long-standing presence in Hong Kong with on-the-ground staff who are investing funds and also looking after clients. So the overall connectivity of the group you mentioned, one thing I would say is that with our, particularly our real estate funds and other funds in credit, we have a large roster of global institutional clients that invest into those funds. So they might be investing in our funds in Australia, but also through Asia. And what we try to offer our clients is that they can invest alongside these institutional investors. So it's not sort of one standard for institutional investors, another standard for high net worth investors. We will offer funds that will grant high net worth investors access to those type of investments that institutional clients are looking for. So that connectivity across Asia, we feel provides that opportunity for clients.
I guess that also kind of goes into like the philosophy of how RAM's designs its, investment products. So what do you say is the core value and also the thought process behind designing investment products in RAM, and what are those products specifically for?
Yeah, great question. So we see ourselves as an income firm, an alternative income firm. So what we specialize in over the last 15 years is providing sustainable, repeatable income for our customers. So a lot of high net worth customers are looking for, preserving their wealth, but also growing their wealth. So when designing products, we understand when we're starting a relationship, we might need an easy entry point. So products like our government bond fund provide an easy entry point for clients to the firm. It's daily dealing, it's obviously invested in a conservative asset class. So that provides, that fulfills the goal of preservation of wealth. Then we have our income fund, which is produced more than 7% return this year and is a top performing bond fund in Asia. So that fund provides for regular income monthly, also liquidity, daily liquidity, and a very competitive return. So that might be customers who are moving up the risk curve a bit towards a higher performing product once they're comfortable with the firm. And lastly, we have our global real estate fund run out of Hong Kong. So that invests in global real estate opportunities And those opportunities critically are co-investments with our institutional clients. So when you're investing in that fund, you actually know that you're investing with well-known institutions, including sovereign wealth funds. So that opportunity has capital plus growth. So there we're looking at higher returns, potentially mid-teen returns. So when we're looking at a client's portfolio, we can build a ballast or a balanced portion of conservative investments, and then we have more growth investments around that because everyone wants to see their growth in their portfolio over time, and particularly above inflation.
Understood. I guess that what you just said really strikes home with a lot of clients, objective. And also given the current economic uncertainties, there are a lot of families and also investors that have dual kind of objectives when they're investing in Hong Kong, especially both they're trying to either preserve or grow their wealth or trying to secure some kind of immigration benefits. So do you have any advice regarding the current economic situations? Have any advice for these kind of investors?
Sure. I would say Hong Kong's a great platform. Obviously, it's a well-positioned international asset management center. So if customers want to diversify their wealth, be it via different currencies or different asset classes, then Hong Kong's a good place to be there. In terms of portfolio selection, I would say it's your first time, investing internationally. You can take the conservative route, as I mentioned, to invest into bonds and income-producing items. If they're investing in the capital investment entrance scheme, those are all compliant investments. You don't have to take a lot of risk at the start. And that's a 7-year investment. So just remember, where you start doesn't mean where you end up. So with a firm like ourselves, we're an asset manager, but critically, each customer has their own client advisor. So each customer will have their own advisor at the firm that they can work with over time to improve and optimize their portfolio and make sure it's consistent with their risk appetite. So my advice would be, take it easy. Make sure you take investments that are in line with your risk appetite. And as your experience and appetite changes, the portfolio can change with you.
Understood. So I guess this brings me to another question, what sets RAM apart from, fund managers? And what other services does RAM offer to support these clients just beyond, providing investment products?
Yeah, good question. I would say, first of all, is RAM's experience. We've I've been here for well over a decade. So that experience of being able to understand the client situation and also the legacy of a lot of the senior management of the firm who have spent close to 30 years in private banking and wealth management. So what we bring is an understanding of clients' experience. What we also bring is flexibility. So as I mentioned, each customer will have their own client advisor they can work on. And in terms of product innovation, that's probably one of our strongest points. We run our own product shelf because we want to be accountable for investment returns. So when a customer is investing with us, they know we are accountable for the investment returns, and they can have a direct conversation with us about investment performance, about compliance, about all those requirements. So what sets us apart is we're an internationally minded firm. We have global experience. We bring that to Hong Kong, and we also tailor investment solutions to the client's risk appetite. That's what sets RAM apart.
Understood. So I guess the last question is to wrap this whole thing up. Do you see any new trends in terms of investment in the Hong Kong investment market regarding high value individuals or families?
Sure. We see a lot of families, basing themselves in Hong Kong and also being involved in, real assets. So the name of our firm is Real Asset Management. So we believe in having private assets alongside public assets. So whilst we have liquid, daily liquidity, public funds like our income and government bond fund, we also offer long-term private markets products, such as our global bond fund and a lot of other funds that we have on our shelf for other regions of our firm. So I see sophisticated global families being interested in private assets. It could be private credit, and it could be real estate, and it could be infrastructure. That's because over a long period of time, those assets produce returns, well in excess of inflation and often not so correlated with the stock market. Stock markets had a great year in Hong Kong over the last year, but as we know, those returns come and go. But long-term private markets with real assets, we see as a good long-term portfolio allocation for wealthy clients, and hence we see our firm being very well positioned to offer those liquid and safe products as well as long-term private markets products.
Understood. I guess that's where RAM really excels at, and how RAM can come in and help our clients like structuring their assets and also help to grow their wealth.
Yes, absolutely. And as I mentioned, that's a journey we can work on over time. We have very experienced staff at RAM that can work with your clients to understand their needs and bring that experience to them to how they can, preserve but also grow their wealth for the long term.
Understood. Well, this has been a truly informative session. Thank you very much, Scott, for joining us today. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Joining with the Pros. And please subscribe and like, and for more information coming your way.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Good.